What I'm also excited about, though, is that we've now tapped in and shifted our industry away from groups and into the independent traveller. And the independent traveller, as I said before, is so important because they're more resilient, they spend more, they disperse more within Australia. Yes, they are more demanding and more sophisticated than our industry probably gives them credit from time to time, but they are exactly the type of traveller that we want.
Melbourne, home to Australia's most well-known sporting event and a major draw card for the independent Chinese traveller looking for experiences.
So the Australian Open is incredibly important to how we present ourselves to the world. But it's not just the Australian Open, we have other amazing events. We have the Grand Prix, we have the Melbourne Cup, we have the Boxing Day Test. But the Australian Open is the most well-known, and it is hugely important because for 2 weeks of the year, the world is focused on Melbourne. Because it's summer and because of the views and the imagery we get, it really does create that bucket list experience that all Chinese and all Asian visitors go, I really have to get to Melbourne.
I'd like to say we planned the AO around the Chinese New Year, so I'm going to say it. We've always done it the last 125 years, but it's really works well for us.
But what is also important is the partnerships that we've developed in China, and the partnership that we've developed with China's largest online travel agency, Ctrip, gives us that huge opportunity, and that's why you're seeing an increase in Chinese visitors to the Australian Open each year.
Australia Open is holding on the central location in Melbourne, so it's very convenient for all the travellers to travel around. And don't forget Australia Open as the leading sports and entertainment events and festivals. It really creates a very multi-experience enjoyment. So it's not only for tennis fans, again, as I mentioned, it's actually suitable for everybody.
And in Victoria, we really have some amazing offerings. We have obviously the Great Ocean Road and the 12 Apostles, which is actually one of the most visited sites in Australia. On top of that, we have Mornington Peninsula. So we have this amazing array. And as I said, the beauty of it is amazing different experiences all within 1 to 2 hours of the city.
We're here on the Mornington Peninsula to find out firsthand how Chinese tourism is impacting the peninsula region.
The change in the nature of tourism, which is moving from group tourism into visiting friends and relatives, and the FIT, the free and independent traveller market, is very important for the Mornington Peninsula. And we're finding that the Chinese market, more so than most other Asian markets, are very relaxed about hiring a car. In a car, you can visit 4 or 5 different things in one day and really feel like you've been to the bay, to the ocean, to the wineries, to the hot springs, to dolphin swimming, fishing, golf. So many activities are all here in the one location. Our hilltop pool, this amphitheatre, our fire and ice, our clay ridge, all of these experiences have been really designed with the idea of, is this photographable, and is it memorable, and is it transformational? And if we can answer all of those 3 things, then we feel like we've got a product which they will sell for us because they love the experience.
30 minutes down the road is Endota, the first spa on the Mornington Peninsula. It was established 19 years ago by CEO Melanie Gleeson, a pioneer of the wellbeing movement in Australia. The company now markets its products in China and has plans underway to become a voice for Chinese women with educational content on WeChat.
The Chinese women and Chinese consumers are looking for a brand that they can trust, a brand that is Australian made, a brand that uses organic and certified ingredients, and a brand that they feel comfortable using on their families as well as themselves.
For us to want to be able to sell into the Chinese market, they really need to experience our spas. So we really want to promote that Australian experience. So if we want them to come here and visit the sites, jump in a hot air balloon, have an Endota spa treatment, that's when they get the full understanding of what the Endota brand is about, the wellness aspect, the self-care aspect, and I think that is going to be key in terms of how we move forward.
20 minutes away, visitors discover something different. A family-friendly farm, food and wine experience.
When we look at the people that visit Green Olive at Red Hill, we have the self-drive, people who are independent travellers, love to do it. We have a very big group of people who come who children are studying in Melbourne, students, and they come down and they want to bring their family down. They want to share the green olive because they've been here and they want to bring their family down and see it. And then, the tour groups are still, but the Chinese market, I find it amazing. They go to Tullamarine, they jump off the plane, jump in a car and they drive. They love to explore.
The natural experience that attracts visitors to the Mornington Peninsula is closely linked to its cool climate and rich volcanic soils, both ideal for growing quality food and wine.
Well, have a look at it. This is the most amazing place to live. The food and the wine, the variety of produce we've got, oil, vinegar, cherries, fruit, vegetables, it just goes on and on. Whatever is in season is what we put on our menus. So for a restaurant, it's a really easy gig because we've got so much local produce.
We're here at Red Hill Vineyard to find out about the experience of creating and tasting some of the peninsula's finest boutique wines. Mornington wines are gaining recognition in China, where consumer preferences are moving to the premium end of the market. Luke Curry, winemaker and viticulturist at Red Hill Vineyard, explains his approach.
The thing that I find exciting is to see the character of the vineyard in the wine. You can see it through all the stages, the way the vine grows, the wind that it sees, and even the way it handles weather patterns and things like that. You get a sense of the resilience of places. And when you taste the fruit, there'll be a shape or a character of the fruit that'll hopefully transfer to the wine. So it's, for me, I think the best thing about the wine making is when you see the vineyard character translated into the wine with purity, and it takes you back to that place when you drink it.
Now, the whole tourism industry is actually about storytelling. The more that we can engage with an experience, the more that we're going to be able to attract the Chinese market.